little superstars? Ruppy here, your ringmaster for the Columbus Swoo Amazing Digital Circus Edition! You've probably guessed that if I'm still hanging around putting on another show, then our funny buddies have managed to make the finals of the Spring Fling Wi-Fi UVA division. And you'd be right! The changes we made proved invaluable in getting our win back from Ark in the semifinals, thanks to the power of Kane and Pomni's scarf cleaning up at the very end. Only one win stands between us and digital glory, and the air around the circus has been electric! Or maybe that's something here in our digital prison that blew a fuse. Either way, excitement is in the air and anticipation abounds, so let's not waste any more time. Our final adventure of the Spring Fling is... Horrifying Hydra Hootenanny! That's right! For our final game in the UNPL Spring Fling, our little hard-shelled hamburgers will be rematching Xand and his San Diego Hydres, who soundly cooked our goose last time. Unfortunately for Xand, this time ChatGPT will not be coding our roster with its outdated AI nonsense, and because of that, I can properly address his roster at long last. Primarina is admittedly a major problem for our circus crew, with the bulk and coverage it has to offer. Ceruledge and Revavroom are tricky terrors who can quickly spiral out of control if we're not careful. Cobalion proved last time how much of a problem it can be with its powerful offense and physical bulk. And his two Terra captains in our Balava and Sneasel have plenty of tools to put us on the back foot and give our performance the hook. That said, we've got plenty of tools of our very own. So let's kick today's adventure off with everybody's favorite jester, Pomni! We've got something a little interesting planned with Pomni this time around, as she's running an assault vest. She may not have any special defense EVs, but a careful nature with the AV boosts it just enough that she can take a non-specs modest surf from Primarina without Terra from full and fire right back. Fairy is our chosen Terra type for this matchup, although I'll be honest and admit that Pomni is primarily my backup Terra plan for this show. This will not only remove some of those pesky weaknesses, but also give us a more powerful play rough to pummel Sneasel and Flygon with. Sucker Punch is also an invaluable tool for trying to pick off weakened foes, especially with timid max speed Primarina being our speed benchmark. Still, Pomni's got all she needs to put on one last show before she can finally head through that exit door like she's been wanting from the very beginning. Someone who I'm hopeful will have a star-studded performance today is Gangle! If this set looks familiar, that's because you might remember what I did with it back in week 4 against Kingler. Boots allow Gangle to ignore any pesky rocks that could put a damper on her plans, and with a giant light bulb on her head, she gets to have all the bright ideas on how to hopefully pick Xand's team apart without any weaknesses to worry about. Running just enough speed to always outrun a non-scar Flygon, Gangle's goal is to set up iron defenses to become nigh impossible to crack, recover to heal off the damage, and then go to town with Bolt Beam coverage through Ice Beam and Electric Terra Blast. Someone who's floating into this game with a real interesting plan is none other than our ringmaster with that dog in him, Kane! Kane is going all out with the offense to try and punch some serious holes in Xand's roster, with just enough speed to always outrun that crazy car Pokemon Revavroom. The real shenanigans, however, lie in his item and ability. Kane's packing a Mirror Herb this time to try and take advantage of potential setup from Ceruledge and Revavroom, especially the former, as without that Mirror Herb, there's no need to fear Poltergeist as he forces that fiery ghost to fizzle out. And just in case Xand tries to pull any Adrenaline Orb shenanigans like he did last time despite supposedly being a non-serious clash between us, Kane is running Justified this time to make Sneasel pay if it tries to knock off my Mirror Herb and cut that plan off before it even gets off the ground. We also have Kinger joining us for one last little hunt for his insect collection. Kinger's aim this time is to try and function as an all-purpose wall, to make sure we can get rocks up before healing up and pivoting out, helped by the return of the Choppleberry to try and either catch Sneasel off guard if it's packing low kick, or bravely stand before Cobalion and shrug off a hit. Surf gives him a chance to wash away the opposition when the moment is right, especially to take advantage of any defense drops from Cobalion's close combat. See ChatGPT? This is how you do a tanky attacking penguin. But we're not done yet, as our mischievous friend Jax has one last bag of tricks he wants to dig into. Jax is intended to be a bit of an anti-lead in case Xand hopes to set up right out of the gate, benchmarking for Sneasel so he can taunt any would-be setup attempts before shifting gears and going to town with Double Edge and Knockoff. Regenerator and Boots ensure he stays healthy to keep being the nuisance we need him to be to keep Xand on the back foot. Last, but certainly not least, is our hardened candy criminal, making one last go at it, Gummigoo! We're going all in on Moxie this time, as Gummigoo's plan is to also use a Choppleberry to tank a fighting hit and use Hone Claws to start tearing away at Xand's forces. Knockoff and Earthquake do tons of damage, while Gunk Shot accounts for the likes of Primarina and Arbalova to try and pull off one last heist, that being the coveted Spring Fling trophy for the Wi-Fi UVA division. That's the roster for today's adventure. A huge thank you to It's Danny Mac, Golden Guy, Grum, and the Loyal Bandito for all their help in programming our final roster of the season. I truly could not have done this without you guys. So, can we show Xand what happens when I'm fully at the helm instead of trusting in garbage AI? Can our funny buddies be the key that finally ends the Swoo's long draft championship drought? Let's find out! Alright, it is finals time. Let's see if we can close out this season with one last grand performance with the Columbus Swoo Amazing Digital Circus Edition. Cobalion and Primarina is of no surprise to me. Neither is Revavroom. Sneasel, which is Terra Dark. Interesting. Electros and Cerule Edge. Okay. So just real quick. No Regieleki's a little surprising, but I guess not in the grand scheme of things. No Flygon's a little surprising. Same with no, Arbalova. But he has no hazard removal, so once I get my rocks up, they're here to stay. Granted, the same is true on my side of things. Jax was kind of the lead plan with this build. You know what? I'm going to continue that. I'm going to stick with that. Call me crazy, but we will try to strike first with Jax and then go from here. If it doesn't work out, fair enough. So, good luck, have fun, Xand. Let's see how this plays out. If Spring Fling will end on a high note for me, with me finally getting a championship at long last after so long. He leads with a Cerule Edge. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to taunt right out of the gate, in case you're, we are having no Swords Dance shenanigans today, if that's what you want to go for. Just go straight for the close combat. Okay. Noted. Noted. Okay. Tried to play a bit fancy and aggressive there, and it did not work out right out of the gate. Okay. Noted. I'm wondering... I think I'm going to go into Kane. If he is weakness policy, then this might actually work out for me. I'm going to go ahead and go for the crunch. Because if he's weakness policy, that will proc my Mirror Herb and then things get real interesting. He is Focus Sash. Okay. Interesting. So that is gonna proc my, It is gonna proc my Mirror Herb, so Arcanine is now a +1 speed. I would have preferred the attack boost, but not the worst thing in the world, I suppose. I'm just gonna go ahead and crunch again. My Mirror Herb's been popped, so he can't hit me with Poltergeist. Actually, I believe I'm at +2 speed now, so Arcanine should be able to outrun any Scarfers he's got. It'll definitely outrun this thing. He would have to go for Shadow Sneak priority, which I believe I should live from here. Oh, absolutely. Again, the attack boost would have been nice, but it's fine. It is what it is. We can still make this work. That is the question now. Do you let Swirlage go? No, it is not. Interesting. That is the Primarina, which is definitely going to take this crunch. That is about... You were out of range of a Wild Charge. But I am honestly really tempted to just go for it anyway. Screw it, we're gonna go for it. You are a lot bulkier than I thought you'd be. Noted. As you flip turn out to get the KO. I don't know if that crit mattered. Actually, no, I think that crit did matter, actually, so, Okay. So, not the start I would have wanted. Playing aggressive has actually put me into a hole. Granted, Primarina's heavily damaged, and Swirlage pretty much dies if I blow on it at this point. So, I think ideally if I can get rocks up with Empoleon, I can make this a little easier on myself. It's going to boil down mostly to what he brings in right now, how I respond. Because, yes, this kind of looks bad for me right out of the gate. But it could be worse. It could honestly be worse. That is going to be the Sneasel. Okay. So I do know he has Terra Dark. Which honestly makes a ton of sense in hindsight, I suppose. We're gonna go into Gummy Goo. This might be a bad idea, but... yeah, this is probably almost definitely a bad idea. If you are banded, this is a definite bad idea. But I'm gonna go for the Earthquake anyway. As he just switches, okay. He probably assumes this thing is Scarfed. Into the Cobalion, which is Air Balloon. Alright. Alright, I see you. I see you. Okay, then. Yeah, this is kind of iffy now. I'm gonna go into Kinger. I mean, this is basically a free close combat. He probably thinks Cobalion can sweep from here, and it has a possible chance to do so. So he's gonna pop my Chople Berry. And still do way too much. Come on. Wow. Okay. I mean, I don't think I lived to anyway. But that is still... ugh. You still hate to see it. Okay. So this is definitely not looking good. He is at -2, though, for defenses. I think this is where I bring in Gangle. Because I can Terrasilize. Honestly, I think just going straight for the Terra Blast is my best play. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. He's gonna withdraw. Okay. So in retrospect, I really could have, into the Electros, which is fine. I'm still gonna Terra. This Terra Blast is not gonna do much. But we can work from here. We should be able to work from here. I think we can make this work. You're probably AV. I mean, you resist this Terra Blast anyway. Yeah, you're probably AV. I'm going to set up an Iron Defense. I mean, if he actually has phasing for this, then kudos on his part. That would be kind of impressive, actually, if that were the case. But, Gangle's a +2. You just knock off. Which is fair. There go my boots. I don't think I really needed those anyway. I'm just going to fire off an Ice Beam for damage on you on the off chance. Well, there's a crit in my favor. As he U-turns out. Okay. That is fine. Okay. We can still make this work. Gangle is a +2. I'm curious how you respond to this, actually. Because Gangle is in a solid spot right now, actually, with the +2. I mean, you could go Revavroom, I suppose. That might not be a bad play. That is the Sneasel. Which, I know you're Terra Dark. If you're banded, well, knockoff wouldn't do anything to me in that case. I'm gonna recover. I want to test the waters here and see what his game plan is. He just goes straight for the Icicle Crash. He's Life Orb. Okay, noted. So that did a decent chunk. I'm going to Iron Defense again. As he Terra Darks this time. Completely fair. That is completely fair. Alright. So this thing is Terra Dark. I don't know what kind of Dark type attack it has, but it's definitely going to boost. Knockoff, which will do a decent chunk. But I already have my item removed. He's losing HP due to the Life Orb. I'm going to get another Iron Defense up, so I am at +4 now. And this is where I recover up again, because he's... Do not... Oh, thank you. If I had gotten Icicle Crash Flinch there, considering how much Hacks has been against me so far this game... Do not know what I would have done. I'm going to Ice Beam you. The Icicle crashes again. I don't think this Ice Beam will kill. No, it will not. Which works out because I can recover back up. And then go from there. Yeah, that... Gangle may be my saving grace here right now. Because at +4 defense... I don't think there's much he really has that can dent this thing. I mean, Primarina could, but I can chip Electros down. Primarina could, I suppose, but... I mean, Gangle's got natural... Cryogonal's got natural... Gangle has natural special bulk. Gonna knock off again, which... I take. Especially since I do not have an item. I'm just going to recover back up. Keep Gangle in a really good spot here. I'm going to recover again. Because I think he takes himself out to Life Orb Chip. Maybe? Yes, he does. Okay. Okay. Oh, he got the flinch. Okay, that kind of sucks a little bit. But I think Gangle's still in a really good spot. As Cobalion comes back in now. And I really don't think you can touch me. I'm going to try to get that recover just to be on the safe side. I outrun you. Are you adamant? You're SD. Noted. I'm going to Terra Blast you. Okay. Gangle is at full, though. And I do know I outspeed, which is very crucial information to know. That tells me he's definitely adamant. Or perhaps bulky SD, maybe? I still don't think Gangle's in a bad spot, though. Especially since I can take a close combat. And with this Terra Blast chip, let's see. That did a decent chunk, about what I expected it to. As he SDs again. I'm going to go ahead and get the +6 with Iron Defense. If he SDs again expecting that, then fair play on his part. He goes straight for the close combat. Which is absolutely fine. Because with those defense drops... I'm gonna recover to be I'm gonna recover to be safe. Yeah, I think he's actually... Yeah, he's still out of range. Another defense drop, however, and that changes. I mean, if he gets to +6 on an SD calling my recover, then good play on his part. Because I definitely need this recover. It's kind of obvious. But I should still be able to take a close combat. And unless that... I mean, unless Sorul just Shadow Sneak, and even then I don't... Considering I'd be at +6 defense? He does SD, okay. Fair. Absolutely fair. I'm gonna go for the Terra Blast. Takes a huge chunk out of you. You're going to close combat. Which Gangle takes. And I'm just going to go for another Terra Blast and pick you off. So that is the end of Cobalion. Alright, Cobalion was actually a really big problem. And having that thing gone is a huge load off my mind. Especially since Gangle is at +6 defense. So, physical attackers are actually going to... All of his physical attackers are actually going to have a real hard time breaking through Gangle right now. Cobalion may have been the biggest domino I needed to fall. I'm still down, but... Gangle may have single-handedly turned this around, and that is actually huge for me. Because Sorul Edge is just about dead. Electros is chipped. Primarina might be chipped. I don't remember. I should be able to outrun that thing, though, and I can definitely recover up on it. That is the Revavroom. Which, at 123... Well, I should be able to outrun you anyway. I'm going to recover. I have no reason not to. And I'm at +6 defense. As he does shift gear. Completely fair. I did not see an air balloon on this thing. Not that it really matters. I'm going for the Terra Blast right now. I have the Iron Heads, which Gangle... Why Iron Head? I would think, unless he's trying to go for the flinches, but again, I'm at +6 defense right now. That would be the only reason I would think. That might be what he's going for? Unless he's... Yeah, I don't think he can really put me into, You know what? I'm going to recover just to play it safe. I know I've only got one left after this, but... He might be trying to put Cryogonal in a position where Primarina can pick it off. And I do not want that happening. I am not going to take that gamble. That is probably what he's... I want to imagine that's what he's playing for right now, because I can't see why he would keep Iron Heading, unless he doesn't have Poison Stab. Either way, Revavroom is gone now. So just like that, Gangle has single-handedly tied this game back up. That is the Electros, which, if it's AV, I know it's going to be tanking these hits, but I can chip it away. But I think I'm doing more damage to it than it's doing to me. Oh, absolutely. Did we just go for another Ice Beam? Yeah, I don't think he brought, I mean, he wouldn't be Roar if he's AV, which he might be. I don't think he's fully... Well, I mean, with the chip damage I'm doing... Primarina is what I want to see right now. I'm at 231. If that thing is specs, I should be good. Okay. I think we're good. So that is the end of Electros. Gangle, I absolutely love you. Terra Cryogonal. An absolute monster. Well, here's the Cerule Edge, which I don't think can... Which really should not be able to touch me at all. I'm gonna Terra Blast just to get the Terra Blast KO. He went into Primarina. Okay. Curious as to why, but I don't think it matters at this point. Yeah, there goes Primarina. And Cryogonal pulling off a 6... Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is how it's going to end. Cryogonal, Gangle. Gangle, Cryogonal is going to pull off a 6-0 sweep. And your Columbus Swoo, Amazing Digital Circus Edition, are the Wi-Fi UVA Division champions of the UNPL Spring Fling. Oh my god, Holy... Great game, Xand. You turned my aggression right back on me, right out of the gate. Not playing aggressive and getting put into a hole early is what has cost me 2 finals this generation so far. Playing aggressive almost cost me a third, but... Terra Cryogonal. Once again, I find a way to make a Terra Captain an absolute monster and make people regret letting me have it. That is unbelievable. I can't... Gangle, that was an absolutely show-stealing performance. I'm definitely going to have more to say in a bit of a retrospective on the whole season in just a moment once I kind of catch my breath. But GG to Xand. We are the champions. I didn't think I would get to say that again. It's been too long. But it has happened. I can't believe it's happened. I'm actually tearing up. I did not think this would happen. I will see you guys in just a moment as I catch my breath and then reflect on this mini tour as a whole. I'll see you guys in just a moment. Alright, so some time has passed since I have played this game. Maybe a little too long in hindsight. I'm sure you probably have noticed these videos have been incredibly late. I do apologize for that. I did make a bit of a community post on my channel explaining why, but if you haven't seen it, long story short, work has been really wiping me out lately and getting in the way. That's just how it goes sometimes. But reflecting back on this whole season and how it ended, I have never played a low-tier draft meta before. It's a really interesting concept, though, I will say that. As I said, I believe, at the very start of the season in my draft analysis, I've always loved lower tiers. I would always gravitate towards them whenever I still played frequently on the Showdown ladder, whenever I was initially part of the Smogon community. So, to be able to take part in this mini-season, I guess, this mini-tour for low tier, it was a lot of fun. And I got to use a lot of Pokemon I've never really used before, and I've gotten to find incredible new uses for them. It gives me a much greater respect for the power these Pokemon do possess when they get a chance to shine. The team as a whole was incredible. I mean, you throw the jabs you want, you got the #1 pick, so of course it's going to be an incredible team, but it's one thing to draft a great team. It's another to actually use it to its fullest potential. Past seasons that I have uploaded have shown that. Case in point, UNPL Season 3, considered probably one of the strongest rosters that got drafted for that season, and I missed playoffs with it. I had a terrible time throughout the season because I just couldn't get the roster to work the way I wanted it to. This is a roster that ticked all the boxes and ultimately came together, and I'm incredibly happy with it. Crocodile, our Gummy Goo, being able to finally get to use this thing for myself after all the years it has terrorized me was truly a delight in getting to wield that power for myself. Gardevoir, Ragatha, absolute incredible mon. Gardevoir is always a solid pick at any point. Kinger or Empoleon, solid defensive wall throughout the season. Fantastic rock setter, definitely put in a ton of work. Kaufmo, the Kilowattrel. I've gained a newfound appreciation for the kind of pain that Kilowattrel can be if you play your cards right. Jax the Cyclozar, probably the one mon I would say on this roster that I did not truly get to utilize to its fullest potential. I mean, there were definitely ideas and flashes there of what could be done with it. It just unfortunately did not work out, so maybe sometime down the line I will give Cyclozar another chance. Kane the Arcanine started off kind of rough, and it had a solid several weeks where it didn't come because I just could not justify it, but Arcanine really came in the clutch for me during these 2 playoff games, that's for sure. Amoonguss, Zubul, I've never really been a fan of passive mons in draft, but I will give all the credit in the world. Amoonguss has always been a really solid option in that regard. I've loved using Amoonguss back in Gens 5 and 6 when I had a team to build around it. And it certainly came in clutch and saved my bacon a few times this season. And then my 2 Terra captains. Pomni the Lycanroc-Midnight. I would like to hope I have proven exactly what kind of threat Lycanroc-Midnight is capable of being. It often gets snubbed because, yes, Lycanroc Dusk is an incredible offensive mon, and Lycanroc-Midday has its uses, especially if you're drafting a sand roster. Lycanroc-Midnight often gets the shaft just because it's a lot slower, even though it does have incredible power and no guard. But I'd like to think I showed what you can do with Lycanroc-Midnight if you play your cards right. And as a Terra captain, it was absolutely phenomenal this season. Pomni put in so much work for me. And then, definitely our finals MVP, Gangle the Cryogonal. This may very well be the best low-tier Terramon in the entire game, and I'm not exaggerating. Cryogonal does not look like it can do much at first glance, but when you add Terra and the ability to be able to provide coverage through Terra Blast, Cryogonal suddenly becomes a much bigger menace. It's got really solid attack. Base 95 is not bad for what it's got to work with, and I mean, 2 games in particular, the finals especially, show that even though it's got god-awful physical defenses, if you build it right and use acid armor and iron defense, you've got an absolute unbreakable wall on your hands, and this thing is just an absolute menace. Cryogonal may have become one of my new favorite Terra captains, and I can add to the list of mons that should probably never be allowed to be put in my hands ever again. The season as a whole was a lot of fun. I got to play a lot of people I never had before, and I truly do appreciate a lot of the opportunities I've gotten on that front. I know it's not like an overall championship or anything because of how we structured the Spring Fling and the nuances to... We have a Wi-Fi and a Showdown League. If we're going to decide an overall champion, how do we make that work? But winning this championship still does mean a lot to me. I have been playing Draft since Gen 6. I started trying to get into Draft shortly after the very first, arguably the first Draft Format League, the GBA, was created as a concept by Magnitude. I've had a lot of highs, I've had a lot of lows during that time. Over the years, and all the times I have been playing Draft, I have only ever won 2 championships. One near, I believe, sometime shortly after Ultra Sun Ultra Moon came out for 7th Gen. That was kind of like this auction sort of league. It was an interesting experience, and allowed me to somehow get my hands on some pretty busted stuff for that meta. But it still took me, I think, 5 or 6 seasons before I finally actually won a championship there, after really solid seasons, a finals appearance or 2. It was a struggle to win that first championship. And then the second one was right when Gen 8 started. It was a Showdown Natdex League. And that was quite an interesting season as well. That somehow managed to work out for me. But yeah, those are my only 2 championship experiences before this point. This is the first one that has actually been uploaded. And it was an experience, especially getting to try to put my voice acting, my potential voice acting chops to work with those team builders. I'm actually glad that you guys really liked the little team builder shtick I was doing. By this point, you've probably seen my Season 5 team builders. I'm not carrying over the voice acting, but I am trying to improve a lot of aspects about these videos, and hopefully it's shining through. And for all the people who have started following me, who have been following me for a while, who have seen these videos, followed my journey, I do thank you all from the bottom of my heart for all the support you have shown and the chance you have given me, both as a draft format player and as, I guess, attempting content creation once again. I know my channel has gone through a lot of weird periods, a lot of gaps, a lot of hiatuses over the years. It pivoted from being a Let's Play channel to just purely doing Pokemon draft content. I do want to try to expand out a little more beyond that. It's like with the reason my Spring Fling videos were delayed, it was all a matter of time and energy that is constantly sapped away by work, because as much as I love doing the Blender renders and have kind of been making a bit of a side hustle out of it, it's not enough to pay my bills. I do have to still work an actual job, and it is a bit physically and mentally taxing on me at times. A lot more than I would like, but that's just the way of the world these days. But still, I do thank you all once again for sticking with me, following me on this journey. I hope you guys have enjoyed this entire Spring Fling run. I hope you guys continue to keep an eye on me, give me a chance, and hopefully see what I can do with Season 5 of the UNPL. I've been having a lot of fun with the roster I drafted there as well so far. With all of that said, the amazing Digital Circus comes to a close for me. We are the Wi-Fi UVA Division Spring Fling champions. I am still in shock, even after I've calmed down, after the emotion of actually pulling it off, that I can call myself a champion once again. It does mean a lot to me. Thank you guys all so very much for watching and supporting the Columbus Swoo. I have been Ruppy, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.